Hello again, students. Today I'm going to study with you the general formula to work out the roots of a quadratic equation. Quadratic equations are very important because they appear everywhere when solving many different types of problems, so you need to be very familiar with those things. First of all, let's review the general form for a quadratic equation is just something like that, equals 0, where a, b, and c, they are just scalar values. That means real numbers. All those values are real numbers. With a bit of restriction, a cannot be 0, because if a is a 0, that part, the quadratic part, would disappear and the equation wouldn't be a quadratic one. So, variables, the x is the variable, and we call it quadratic equation because the biggest power of the variable is just 2 quadratic. Those are the variables, and a, b, and c, we call them coefficients. This is a horrible name, but you just need to learn it. Coefficient. Okay. Now, the formula. That formula we were using a few times already. We know that to work out the possible roots of that equation, we do very fast this formula, minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, divide everything by twice a. This formula actually is called the discriminant formula just because all the value underneath the square root, all that value has got the name of discriminant. Quite a horrible one, but you just became familiar with it. What I want to show is that that particular formula is coming from somewhere with a lot of sense and with a lot of mathematical work that you would understand everything, don't worry. So we start taking the general form of a quadratic equation, and I want to use a very simple thing, which is the expanded square of a sum of something. In this case, I'm going to use x plus something. Let's call that something, for example, beta. Just make it different than the things we got here. That would be x to the power of 2 times x plus that second part, which is that beta, plus that beta square. Now, I want to compare this with the general expression for a quadratic equation. The main thing is I got the x squared and I got the x. This is the most important thing. So I'm going to do a few changes in here to become something which I can easily write as a square of a sum. The first thing, the main coefficient with the x squared is a 1, but in there it's not a 1, it's an a, so I need to take care of that. How? Very easy. The first thing I'm going to do is just divide every single part of the equation by the number a, and that will give me as simple as that. And 0 divided by a is just 0. No problems because that a was a different value than 0. We can do that perfectly. Now, if we look, we are fine with this. We already meet that requirement. But my next problem is this 2. I need that 2. Because I need it, I just place it. I need it, I just place it. And because I didn't get that thing at the beginning in the equation, and I cannot change the original values of the equation. I just take it away. So again, this is a horrible thing. I need this factor, this lovely number 2. Because I need it, I put it in here. But I cannot change the original value in the equation. So I need to get rid of this factor. How? Just dividing by the same guy. So multiplying by 2 and dividing by 2 equals doing nothing. But I got the thing I need. So moving, now I got x squared plus twice x, which is that one, and this whole thing is b. And now, if I want to apply this formula, I still need to have the square of that thing. That thing is all this, and I need the square of that. So I need it. I put it. What is the square of this? This is a fraction. To square a fraction, we square the numerator and denominator, and that is giving you that thing. But again, I cannot change the original values in the equation. I'm adding something, I cannot do that. So, to get rid of the problem, I subtract the same thing. Because plus something minus that something equals doing nothing. There you are. And plus c divided by a. That actually I want to put in black color because this is not a trick, this is just the value we had in there. Now I'm very close to the thing. I take together from here to here, and you see x squared twice x times something and the square of that something. This is exactly x plus b divided by twice a, everything squared. Look at it for a second, and you just check it, apply your formula, expand it, and you get there. Now, equals. These things I'm going to place into the other side. The only thing to care is about the sign. So this guy goes into the other side with a plus, no problem. And this other one goes into the other side with a minus. There it is. Now, I want to work a bit more with those fractions. This is a difference of a fractions. Let's do it. To do a difference of a fractions, we need to work out the common denominator, which is going to be 4 times a squared. On top is going to be b squared minus, and that c is missing the 4 and is missing the a, just if I want the common denominator. So minus 4 times a times c. X plus b divided by 2a, everything to the power of 2 equals that. The aim of all this is to get rid of everything and leaving that lovely x completely alone. So the first thing I need to get rid of is that power. How to get rid of that power? I'm going to do the square root of every single part in the equation. So I'm going to do the square root of all that. Equals, and also I need to do the square root of the second part. There we are. Why this? Just because by number theory everybody knows that power 2 and square root, they cancel each other and just stay that value. Now here I need to put a plus and a minus. Why is that? Okay, just check it. For example, we want to work out the value of square root of 36. That is going to be plus 6 or minus 6. Why do I need to take the two values? Very simple, because all of them, both of them, 6 to the power of 2 gives me 36, and minus 6 to the power of 2 also gives me 36. So there are two ways of doing a square of some of the numbers to get me 36. Two values, plus and minus. So in every single square root, be careful, you need to place there the plus and the minus. Now, this part after doing the cancelling stays this, and in the other part stays. Now I'm going to apply another very useful rule for square root. Square root of a fraction, let's say c divided by d. This is the same as a fraction, which square root of each part. This is a very useful rule. I will apply it in there. So plus minus b squared minus 4 times a times c. And the square of all these, you just do it very easy. Number theory, applying all the laws you know about indices and roots. This is 2 times a. No problem. So 2 times a. And we are so close to the end. The only thing I need to leave that x alone is just that guy goes into the other side with a minus. There you are, there you are. Now I put here a plus, and plus minus this b squared minus 4 times a times c, everything divided to a. Because they have already common factor, the sum of these two fractions is very easy. That's the minus b plus minus root square of b squared minus 4 times a times c. So you see what I was telling you? This formula is just not a horrible invention of mathematicians to annoy students. No, has got a lot of meaning, right? And is very handy, very useful. So I advise you to learn, because you will need to solve quadratic equations. Okay, bye bye now. See you again in the next video. Bye.